In 43 years of operation, ATOG Glass produced outstanding art glass. It designed and crafted over 1,700 commissions. And we would like to show you a sample of that work. Very quickly after opening ATOG Glass, we were fortunate to get some very nice commission projects. We did several panels for a summer home at Lake Bloomington. Our client was a local doctor who collected and appreciated many styles of art. We produced many panels for residences all over central Illinois. These panels were done for a beautifully restored home on East Washington Street in Bloomington, Illinois. We designed this panel for a small winery in rural Carlock, Illinois. Bathroom windows were quite popular, and we designed them to give not only privacy, but lots of illumination. We designed this set of panels for a large home in the Deer Ridge subdivision, Bloomington, Illinois. This panel in a master bathroom in Normal, Illinois has over 300 beveled pieces of glass, many of which we made ourselves. This set of bath panels went to Molokai, Hawaii, easily our most distant commission. Quite often, people would bring us photographs or pictures that they wanted us to duplicate in stained glass. The lady brought us this picture as inspiration for her bathroom panel. A couple brought us this sketch done by their 5-year-old son. I studied it and found 3 sea creatures in the sketch, and we proceeded to produce that idea in clear texture glass for their master bathroom. This client showed us a page from a book of Tiffany windows and asked us to replicate it for her home. But she wanted some of the flowers to be yellow daffodils. We were given this well-known print as design inspiration for a panel for a doctor's office. This set of panels had special significance to the family. Each panel represented each family member's personal interest, especially the children. This painting on one of the son's bedroom walls expressed his interest in knights and King Arthur. Other children's interests were Tinkerbell, Titanic, baseball, and angels. The mother had us leave 2 blank panels for possible future children. This panel was probably our most unusual request. It was a tattoo on our client's back. We made this small panel that was presented as a gift. It was brought back to us many years later to be used as a central element in a much larger panel. We had a request to design a set of panels in bright, vivid fall colors. This client wanted colorful Victorian-style panels for their living room. We designed these panels for a living room, dining room area for a home in Lake Bloomington. We also designed these stairwell panels so that they could obscure the view of their neighbor's house. We really like to design using clear texture and especially beveled glass. This is a very nice panel that was in Crestwick subdivision, and we included zipper cutting some of the bevels and actually did the wheel etching ourselves. A nice stairwell panel for a home on White's Place in Bloomington. This old panel was brought to us for minor repairs and resizing to fit in an opening in a sunroom. We were also asked to design 2 new panels to fit in the spaces on either side of the old panel. This rather impressive prairie-style residence in rural Crongerville, Illinois, was designed by local architect Russell Francois. We were commissioned to design panels for several areas in this home. This client collected Mackenzie Child's pottery and wanted windows in her home to reflect that interest. She also asked us to design a rather unique family tree. We designed this entranceway and bath panel for a very nice log home in Mountain Home, Arkansas. We repaired this old panel for a client and then used it as a design inspiration for their new arched entryway. We designed quite a few arched or half-circle panels, especially for entryways. And again, bevels were quite prominent in many of our designs, and a large portion of the bevels we use we made in the studio ourselves. This lady requested a really bright panel with a rainbow. This entryway design reflected the family's crests. This small but complex door panel had a unique glue chip beveled center that we produced in the studio. These kitchen panels were inspired by the Frank Lloyd Wright windows in the Clooney Playhouse in Riverside, Illinois. We had a lot of requests for Frank Lloyd Wright or prairie-style panels. And we enjoyed designing in this style, and usually included one of our favorite types of glass, beveled glass. We got quite a few requests for abstract or contemporary designs. This kind of design work was interesting but challenging to do, especially in glass. This was originally a 3 separate panel installation. Later we converted it to a single panel for the client. These entry panels were designed for a residence in Morton, Illinois. This rather large panel was for a home on Country Club Place in Bloomington. It contained over 300 1-inch wide pencil bevel strips. We produced a large number of cabinet panels and worked with most of the cabinet makers and woodworking shops in the area. Many were quite simple designs, but others were more complex and personalized for the client. Cabinet panels were made for a seed corn company's office. We had a lot of requests for botanical or floral themed panels. And we could of course paint and fire detailed accents on some panels. We were asked to design a panel with the moon and dogwood-like blossoms for a home in Lake Bloomington. We designed this set of 6 panels and were installed in a home on Country Club Place in Bloomington, Illinois. This was one of our favorite botanical panel design projects. We designed several panels for locally owned businesses. This was for a veterinarian's office in Normal, Illinois. This was for a daycare center in Bloomington, Illinois. An Atlanta, Illinois seed corn company wanted us to produce 2 panels of their logo. They were to be used as presents for retiring executives. This was a popular bar in Normal, Illinois. We did panels for several real estate companies in Bloomington and Normal, Illinois. We designed this for a pharmacy in Hopedale, Illinois. We made this for a client who had worked for the Department of Defense. The mother commissioned us to craft this for her son, who was in this Ranger unit. We produced these panels for some state agencies who presented them as awards. We also did quite a few etched glass panels. These were produced by hand-cutting vinyl resist and then etched with aluminum oxide abrasive in one of our 2 etching chambers. Having 2 kilns for painting and firing on glass also made it possible for us to do glass fusing. We designed and marketed a line of fused glass jewelry. This bathroom project was a combination of fused and mosaic glass. We did a few custom mosaic glass stepping stones when they were popular for a few years. We of course did stained glass lamps as well, but we actually repaired 10 times more lamps than we produced new. Lamps were designed to match the bedspread. Probably our most unusual lamp project was for Wesleyan University. We took very old broken pieces from a restoration we had done for them earlier and made this rather eclectic lamp for the library's reading room. Our most ambitious lamp was a 5-foot diameter dome for a residence on Country Club Place in Bloomington, Illinois. And we added 2 little special accents to this particular lamp. We did several panels with people as a design subject. A woman asked us to design this for her husband, who was an avid golfer. These 2 panels were for a client who was a big fan of Roger Maris and the St. Louis Cardinals. This is Jacques Plante, a famous hockey goaltender. These 3 clown panels were presents given to a mother for her birthday who collected clown memorabilia. This Medusa panel was for a bathroom in a home in suburban Chicago. The next 3 beveled panels were in-studio projects. We purposely picked a design subject that would be difficult to do and produce in bevels. The face bevels were the most difficult to make. The time to make just the bevels for each female form was from 100 to 150 hours of grinding and polishing. We zipper cutted the hair bevels in this panel. This panel was in international competition in a glass show in Houston, Texas in the 1980s. It won second place Judge's Choice. We did quite a few wildlife and animal panels. This was a Grand Champion Hereford bull. This panel went to a Nebraska Angus cattle ranch. Waterfowl were a very popular commission request. The glass for this loon was rare etched black on white flashed glass. Hummingbirds were also a popular wildlife commission. We designed and crafted windows for several churches. The Shirley Christian Church windows we completed over a period of about 4 or 5 years. Every year adding 1 or 2 more windows until we had completed all the windows in that church. The first Presbyterian church panels were designed to match the panels that were in the old church on Fell Avenue in Normal, Illinois. These panels were done originally when this was Christ Lutheran Church. These 2 child angel panels were designed to memorialize 2 children of the congregation who died at an early age. This panel was commissioned by the 4 ladies in the church choir, and they're represented by 4 doves that we designed in the panel, and these are 2 of their favorite songs. This panel was to commemorate the church's 125th anniversary. The Moses Montefiore Temple wanted this window relocated from the old temple to the new temple. It was just way too large to fit anywhere in the new temple, so we made for them an almost exact replica that would fit very nicely in the new temple. This church put a new addition to the old church that included a new entrance. This left the old entrance as an open window area. This was the style of the stained glass in the old church area, and they wanted us to match that style. We were quite capable of using painting and firing techniques to replicate that style. St. Mary's was a church that had 2 different styles of stained glass. This bold 1950s style in the sanctuary, and this abstract style in the chapel. They wanted us to design a stairway window that would complement or coordinate with both of those styles. We also designed and made this St. Francis panel for St. Mary's Elementary School. This church committee wanted a glass color that matched the carpet and seat fabric. This entrance transom needed to match the already existing panels that were in that hallway. These are very difficult shapes to produce. We also included some etched symbols in some of these pieces. This was another church that wanted us to design with a glass color that would match the carpet. The panel for the Methodist Church in Mendota was a large dalle de verre panel. This technique used 1-inch thick glass slabs that are held together with an epoxy-based cement. This is a very different style of stained glass fabrication. We did quite a few small panels for various churches and chapels. This panel was for the Methodist Church in Normal, Illinois. This was for Trinity Lutheran Church in Bloomington, Illinois. This was a gift for a retiring pastor. This was for a small church in Missouri. This was for the Lighthouse Family Services Chapel in Bloomington. This was for the Mennonite Nursing School Chapel in Bloomington as well. And we did this for the Westminster Senior Center in Bloomington. And this was for the Babyfold Hammett Chapel in Normal, Illinois. We did several hospital-related panels. The Eureka Hospital wanted panels that were colorful and non-denominational. The Russell Francois Architects gave us a design style drawing that we based our design on. We designed this for a new CAT scan unit wing at a Peoria hospital. Roman Hospital asked us to design a memorial panel for a well-liked doctor who unexpectedly passed away. We designed the panel to reflect major interests in his life. He loved Tiffany lamps, and these were 4 of his favorite books. He was very family-focused and interested in genealogy. He was an active alumni of the universities that he attended. He was really into technology and loved Macintosh computers. The binary code and barcode here actually have a message. This panel was a gift to a retiring operating room nurse. We did panels for 5 local libraries. A panel for the Normal Public Library was a memorial panel for Norma Trimble. This is a design composite that we used that indicated the time she arrived at work every morning, her favorite flower, and she loved stained glass lamps, her 3 favorite books, and she read the New York Times every day, and this is a copy from the day that she died. We also did a memorial panel for the Bloomington Public Library for librarian Sandra Bay. They wanted it to match the style of a window we had prepared for them many years earlier. This panel also contained elements that symbolize some of her personal interests. We did a major restoration project for the Ames Library at Wesleyan University, but we also did a nice commemorative panel for a retiring librarian. We did a nice panel for the Illinois State University Milner Library. It was commissioned by the alumni class of 1983. We did a school seal panel for the University High School Library in Normal, Illinois. Then shortly thereafter, we did this panel for the student lounge area. We did 2 sets of identical panels for the Danville Community College Workforce Development Center. One of our most prestigious commissions was for the 4th Appellate Court building in Springfield, Illinois. Landscape artist Harold Greger was asked to produce a design that could be adapted to stained glass or a skylight. And we were chosen as the studio to engineer and replicate that design in stained glass. We decided to engineer and design this like a heavy-duty suspended ceiling, Crafting 23 individual panels in very odd shapes was a real challenge, but all went well and the installation went smoothly. So as you walk up the stairwell to the 4th Appellate Courtroom, you are presented with this colorful stained glass skylight. This is the last panel designed and crafted at Etched Glass studio in 2017 for a client in Ontario, Canada. This is a time-lapse sequence taken over a 24-hour period to show off some of the special dichroic glass used in this panel. As the transmitted or outside light diminishes and the reflected or inside light takes over, some of the glass takes on a completely different color. And this is a very dramatic effect, and that's dichroic glass. And we'd like to thank you for your interest in this presentation of our work of 43 years at Etched Glass.